Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Forecast. In today's video I'm going to be previewing the Manchester derby between Manchester City and Manchester United, and I'm very excited to see what happens in this game. It's going to be interesting, not because both teams are good, but because both teams are shit, and that is what makes this game a bit more interesting than usual, I think. Usually we see either both teams being very good and it's usually a very high level of football game, or we see one team being a lot better than the other. For this game I don't see either. I see both teams actually not being at their best, and that's going to be interesting to see who can basically exploit the other team's main weaknesses. So what selection headaches will both sides have? Obviously for Manchester United, Lisandro Martinez is out. It feels like he's always out injured, so no real surprise there. As well as this, Mason Mount is potentially out for Manchester United. Matheus Cunha has been confirmed out with a hamstring injury. Manchester City, Mateo Kovacic is out for Manchester City. Nico O'Reilly is potentially out. Omar Marmosh is out for Manchester City. Ian Nori's potentially out. You got Cherokee, who's definitely out. You've got Rico Lewis, who's potentially out, and you've got Savinho, who's potentially out. Out of all those injuries, I would say the big ones are probably Matheus Cunha, Marmosh, and Cherokee. Potentially Mason Mount and Ian Nori as well could be selection headaches for Pep Guardiola. If you look at the results in like the last sort of 6 or 7 games, I think you can start to sort of see why this game might be so even as I'm sort of expecting. Like, Manchester City have not dominated this fixture in the past, even when they've been the better team. And if you look at sort of important games, which I feel like this is for both teams to try and get some momentum into the season, Manchester United won the FA Cup final. They also won that Premier League game last year under Ruben Amorim when no one really gave them a chance. They got a draw. They got a 0 draw against them as well in the Premier League. So they have the ability to pick up results. Obviously, Manchester City sort of more in the past have managed to find results, but Ruben Amorim has also done a very good job on him. Pep Guardiola was Sporting as well. So I still sort of think Manchester United have more of a chance than people are maybe giving. As Manchester City are the favourites to win this game, I'm going to more go with sort of how I think United could find a way to actually win this game. And first of all, I think United need to go with an attacking approach. Manchester City can score goals, but they also leak a lot of goals. We've seen in their last couple of games, they leak goals to Brighton and they leak goals to Spurs. But as well as that, last year, they continued to leak goals against weaker opposition. I still believe they're very susceptible defensively, and the defence of who they're going to pick is very unclear to what you would usually expect from a Pep Guardiola side. He definitely doesn't have sort of his best 11 sorted out, and his defence is partly why that he doesn't have that sorted out. If you look at the issues they have, sort of who does he pick at right back? If Lewis is available, you go then to probably Rico Lewis and Matheus Nunes. Most likely it's going to be Matheus Nunes. Cunha has been picked in a couple of games, but he just got injured and he's only just come back. So do you go Ruben Diaz, who wasn't picked last game, or do you go John Stones? So there really is some issues in centre half for Manchester City, as well as left back. I'm not convinced Ian Nori is maybe as good as people think he is defensively, and I think he can be exposed against Manchester United. So, as I said, I think the only way United really have a good go at this game is by going in with an attacking approach. So this is reflected in the lineup. But just starting off with in goal, I've gone with Lamans. I really do think this is a high-pressure game for a keeper like this to come into, and I'm not convinced the signing's going to work out. But I think the alternative of Bayinda is just so shocking that you have to go with Lamans. Then into the back three, and I've gone with Yoro, Dillet, and Shaw. Just United's standard back three. I don't really see a problem with this back three, and I think they've been pretty good so far, really, defensively. I know they looked suspect against Burnley, but I thought in the other 2 games they actually fared very well, and the goals they conceded weren't really their fault, in my opinion. So then looking at sort of the key selection change, so Ahmad is a right wing back. I do think there is a high chance that Ruben Amorim goes with Diogo Dalot as the right wing back, but I would personally go with Ahmad, and that is purely off the fact I think United need to attack. I think they need to let Ahmad have sort of this freedom to go up the pitch, and that is me assuming that they'll be going up against Iithad Nori, or they'll be going up against potentially Gvardiol, who have both been struggling. So I think if you just sort of target down this right hand side, United will be able to create chances, and they did this against Burnley at times as well, and were very effective down this right hand side. Bruno Fernandes playing a lot of balls into them in the deep role. But who have I actually got in the deeper role for today's game? I've actually got Kobe Mainu, and the reason I've got Kobbie Mainu in is because of the Cunha injury and the Mount potential problem, but I also think it's a more balanced midfield with Mainu and Casemiro in it. I know that Mainu has struggled in this position, but I think you've got to trying to trust the talent of Kobbie Mainu. There's a reason so many clubs want him, and if you're not being able to get Kobbie Mainu and use him correctly, then you've got to start questioning Ruben Amorim, in my opinion, because he's a real talent, Kobbie Mainu, someone I've rated very highly in the past, and I still rate highly. So highly, I actually think he could definitely push the England squad and potentially the starting 11 as he did at the last Euros. So I really think Mainu is talented, and he does have the build and the fit to fit Ruben Amorim's system. I just can't quite understand why he's got this addiction with playing him as a left 10. So what I actually think he might do is I think he might do this. I think he might play Bruno as the left sort of 8 and then Mainu as this left 10, because that's sort of where he profiles him now. What he needs to do, in my opinion, is just switch it. Play Bruno here. And why I think Bruno Fernandes is so much better in this position is, first of all, he can give the ball away more and it won't hurt the side as much. But also, Bruno Fernandes played some of his best football he's ever played last year in this left 10, in my opinion. Bruno Fernandes is a left 10. I just think we need to get this out of the way, that Bruno Fernandes is a deeper player. He's really not. And I think he could really cost some goals. I look at Manchester City's starting lineup and I see like Tijani Rangers as a real threat, as he can sort of break through midfield, and I think he will end up with a contribution or a goal if Bruno Fernandes plays deeper like it's sort of most likely expected. Once again, I sort of see the weakness of Manchester City as well at right back. There's actually loads of weaknesses in Manchester City. I think it's all about exploiting weaknesses. So once again, Dorgu's got to be able to fly down the side, and Bruno Fernandes also needs to drift a bit out to the left. He's not extremely comfortable in this role, but I still feel like he has to do this to try exploit Matheus Nunes. But that's where I think United will miss Cunha the most, because Matheus Cunha has been such a good threat at sort of doing that, sort of dribbling through midfields. And I think if Cunha was playing in this game, I'd be way more confident United can come away with more than just sort of a loss or a draw, and I would be more confident United can win this game. Then what would I do up front? Benjamin Sesko. I think you've got to start trusting your £70 million striker. You can't not play him again, in my opinion. Will he play Sesko? I'm not sure. I think if Mount's available, he may well go Mount, Mainu, and Mbeumo. Mount, maybe Xerxes and Mbeumo, something like that. What I would do is I'd play Sesko. I think this is the sort of game where Sesko can get a bit more involved. You might need that hold-up striker, because Manchester City are going to keep the ball. But what you need to do is you need to get the balls quickly up front and also play these sort of killer balls, and this is where Bruno can be more useful. Sesko needs to arrive late, and they need that sort of striker in the box. If you look at how Spurs beat them, it was so similar. They got the ball out wide to Brennan Johnson, they got the ball out wide to Kudus, and then there would always be someone in the box, and that in my opinion can be Sesko and then Mbeumo. Those are the two players that should be arriving late. So from a Manchester City perspective, I'm just going to quickly summarise it. I think there's a lot of issues for Manchester City. Obviously, if Rodri's available, which he looks like he is, straight away Manchester City's chances of winning go up. But I am worried about their defence, and I actually think United can exploit it, and I just think it's a United game to win. So for that reason, I'm actually going to go with a 2-1 win for Manchester United. If you want to see more predictions, then please head over to my other YouTube videos where you're about to find more predictions for Game Week 4, where I go over other sides as well. But if you did like this video, please like and subscribe and support the channel.